trusted news source, ABC6 News at Noon.
Good afternoon, Southern New England. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Tiffany Murphy. Let's take a live look over Providence right now as we introduce our ABC6 meteorologist, Nick Morganelli. The sun is there, right?
Yes.
We just need some more of it.
We've got the sun. We've got a few stratocumulus clouds too, but we'll develop more sunshine as we go through the afternoon. 45 right now, and the wind is a little breezy out there, 14 miles per hour out of the northwest. Temperatures right now across all of southern New England are in the 40s. We've got 48 in New Bedford, westerly at 47 right now. There are the gusts. At times, it's gusting 20 to 30 miles per hour, but that will abate. As you see here, Wednesday, 4 o'clock, winds are down to about 9 miles per hour, a little bit gusty in the afternoon, but that will abate by evening. So 7 o'clock, we're down to 9, and then it goes farther from there. Lessening as the night goes on. And we do have lots of breaks in the clouds. We just happen to have a good cloud deck out there over Providence right now. Off to the west, we're watching this storm moving through the Mississippi Valley this evening, and it's going to ride up into the western province of Canada and the Quebec province. And when that comes here, it'll bring us some showers tomorrow night, not today. We've got sun and clouds today. Temperatures holding in the upper 40s, and we'll drop to about 40 by 11 o'clock tonight, and then by 6 o'clock tomorrow, we're looking at we're looking at 30 degrees, and then noontime tomorrow, 42, and a few sprinkles perhaps. But here comes the rain by tomorrow evening at 7 o'clock. We'll talk more about that system, and we'll look at the 7-day forecast and peer into our weekend and see how that's looking too. Tiffany? We are inching closer. Thanks, Nick. Now to political news at noon. Americans still talking about the State of the Union address last night. Here's more on that.
In his second State of the Union address, President Biden hitting a theme some say could be a slogan if he runs for a second term.
Finish the job. Let's finish the job this time. Let's finish the job.
The president touting his accomplishments, particularly on the economy and jobs.
We're not finished yet by any stretch of the imagination, but unemployment rate is at 3.4%, a 50-year low.
Also highlighting the passing of bipartisan legislation on some gun control measures, mental health resources for minors, and investments in the nation's roads and bridges, while taking a jab at Republicans who didn't vote for the bills.
We'll fund these projects, and I'll see you at the groundbreaking.
Republicans responding raucously at numerous points, despite Speaker Kevin McCarthy warning his members to keep it civil, even shushing them. GOP eruptions coming when Biden said fentanyl kills more than 70,000 Americans a year. But possibly the loudest interruption coming during Biden's comments on a Republican plan from Florida Senator Rick Scott to have all federal spending programs, including Social Security and Medicare, undergo a renewal vote from Congress every 5 years. Biden didn't mention Senator Scott by name.
Some Republicans want Medicare and Social Security to sunset. I'm not saying it's a majority. Let me give you, anybody who doubts it, contact my office. I'll give you a copy. I'll give you a copy of the proposal. That means Congress doesn't vote. Well, I'm glad to see you. No, I tell you, I enjoy conversion.
The president then using the moment to turn the tables on Republicans.
We all apparently agree. Social Security and Medicare is off the books now, right? They're not to be funded.
The president, however, still confident in the strength of the nation.
Because the people of this nation are strong. The State of the Union is strong.
With the White House thrilled by his speech, President Biden taking his message on the road, traveling to the Madison, Wisconsin area to highlight how his economic plan created jobs in the region and across the country. Ike Ajachi, ABC News, Washington.
Closer to home today, Rhode Island politicians taking in the President's State of the Union address, covering topics like the unemployment rate, along with American manufacturing, something Congressman David Cicilline says he is pleased with.
The president has, I think, been the most successful president in terms of really advocating for the whole Make in America agenda. So not only rebuilding manufacturing, but making sure it happens here in the United States.
And more reaction from Congressman Seth Magaziner, who attended his first State of the Union address, saying, quote, "In light of Republican threats to slash Rhode Islanders' hard-earned benefits, I commend President Biden's unambiguous defense of Social Security and Medicare, and I share President Biden's ironclad commitment to defending the dignity of LGBTQ Americans and restoring the protections of Roe v. Wade." Senator Jack Reed tweeting, "Thank you, POTUS, for articulating tonight how America is truly the land of possibilities. Together, we're building an economy that works for all, and we're just getting started." More positive reaction from Senator Sheldon Whitehouse. He says, "Tonight, POTUS gave an optimistic look at the possibilities for our nation. We've accomplished big things in the last year, and we need to keep up our momentum." Now to an ABC6 News follow-up on a story we first brought you on Good Morning Providence. After America watched Bills safety Damar Hamlin go down on the field, the American Heart Association teaming up with the athlete, showing the life-saving importance of learning CPR. ABC6 News reporter Yanni Tregalis got a hands-on training session today with the American Red Cross.
Well, February is American Heart Month, and with that, the American Heart Association is challenging you at home to be the beat and learn how to do heart compressions to help potentially save lives.
By performing immediate CPR, you can double or triple a person's chances of survival. For every minute CPR is not performed, your chances of survival decrease by about 10%.
A challenge to all to learn hands-on CPR training and potentially save a life. On Wednesday, we accepted that challenge and were trained by a Heart Association member on how to do compressions.
Somebody can get an AED, that's the next step that we want.
Each year, more than 350,000 people suffer from cardiac arrest in the United States. That's just under 1,000 people a day. That number includes Bills safety Damar Hamlin, who on January 2nd suffered cardiac arrest on the field. Hamlin now teaming up with the American Heart Association with a challenge of his own.
CPR can easily save your life or someone you love. That's why I'm proud to announce that I'm partnering with the American Heart Association and kicking off Damar Hamlin's 3 for Heart CPR challenge.
Trying to put it in front of the whole country, which I think certainly helps to boast the cause of why this is so important.
First, when you see someone suffering from a cardiac arrest, you should call 911. Then put one hand in the middle of the person's chest and intertwine with your other hand, doing compressions at about 100 to 120 beats per minute, which aligns with the beats of the song, Stayin' Alive. Being prepared to act in these situations, Potvin says, can prove to be life-saving.
You can watch these videos online. You can practice, pushing on a couch cushion or a basketball or a soccer ball if you don't have a mannequin.
Throughout the month of February, the American Heart Association is offering ways to learn hands-on CPR. And through Damar's challenge, you can watch a quick 1-minute training video, as well as donate to the Heart Association to fund CPR education and training.
2 inches, and let your hands, let the chest fully recoil. You're not going to hurt somebody. If they suddenly collapse, you're better off to perform CPR if they don't need it than you are if you don't perform CPR.
Yanni Tregalis, ABC6 News.
Just ahead on ABC6 News at noon, thinly stretched rescue teams working through the night in Turkey, while the World Health Organization is now calling it a crisis on top of multiple crises. And later, we take a look at the new 40,000 square foot gaming area headed to Bally's Twin River in Lincoln. Is there an intro in for this, or do I need to write something on the fly? Okay. And of course, I don't have a pen. Chris, can I have your pen again, please? Checking world headlines at this hour, the death toll at nearly 12,000 in Turkey after multiple quakes hit, and that death toll is continuing to rise. Multiple things are hampering rescue efforts right now, primarily the weather.
Amid the devastation and heartbreak as the death toll rises in Turkey and Syria, some moments of relief. Survivors being pulled from the rubble, a rescue team in Syria pulling an entire family from the debris. People gathered around, erupting out of joy. 2 children saved after surviving under rubble for over 40 hours, including this 2-year-old wrapped in a blanket before taken to an ambulance. Rescuers, some using just their hands and buckets, racing against the clock in cold weather with thousands potentially still trapped. The critical window of survival shrinking. Hatice Yener says her 18-year-old cousin Adnan lived in this building. She's hoping he'll be found.
It's so cold. It's so cold. It's rainy. It's so difficult. So difficult.
Drone video shows the widespread destruction. Multiple high-rise buildings reduced to rubble, entire neighborhoods flattened. Hospitals overwhelmed, treating thousands of injured people. More than 70 countries sending aid, at least 2 American search and rescue teams from Los Angeles and Virginia arriving in the region.
Since the earthquake Monday, there have been more than 600 aftershocks. The president of Turkey says 13 of 85 million there have been affected, and he declared a state of emergency in 10 provinces. Rena Roy, ABC News, New York.
Still to come on ABC6 News at noon, Nick has a look at our full 7-day forecast, which includes the weekend when you may need an umbrella. Coming up next.
And now, your ABC6 Storm Tracker weather with meteorologist Nick Morganelli.
Good afternoon. Good to be with you today. We get the blend of sun and clouds out there right now. A little bit breezy at times. Temperature 45 in Providence, Smithfield at 42. And we're looking at temperatures to kind of maybe rise a couple more degrees, and then they'll start to fall. So today's going to end up being above normal, even though we've got 3 days behind us that are above normal. But February started well below normal with that Arctic outbreak, of course. And so the next several days will also be above normal as the West Coast is going to stay cooler than normal east of the Mississippi, warmer than normal, and right here in the Northeast, much above the average temperatures for this time of year, which were around 23 for a low and 40 for a high. We're actually going to be above those numbers over the next several days. So staying mild the next 7 days, showers Thursday evening and Thursday night. And then there's a weekend coastal storm that will really mean concerns for offshore waters, especially mariners, but it's a miss for now for us. We might get a little bit of sprinkles or drizzle. It'll be kind of a raw easterly wind for the most part, but that major storm is going to be another miss. Satellite radar showing the partial clearing across the area. We have holes in the clouds here after we had that shower last night. Here's the next system. Rain moving northward out of Texas and the lower mid-Mississippi Valley with this warm front that is developing here. This is the leading edge of very warm, humid air, and it's pushing northward into the cooler air. So we're forming this band of moisture here in the form of rain near the front, snow and mix on the north side. You can see a little bit of it right there. High pressure over us, giving us the light wind tonight, but it moves away tomorrow morning. It starts to move out. So we got this southerly breeze in here for tomorrow afternoon and evening as this warm front pushes in. Here's Thursday at 2 o'clock. It pushes north of us. They've got a little snow in northern New England, snow across the Quebec province of Canada, and then some heavy rain upstate New York. That moves through northern New England. They've got a mix of weather there, and we've got some showers that'll move through here. So the track of the low is important. It's moving through the Great Lakes and not sliding over us. So we're going to have periods of showers on and off. It's not an all-out rain. This low continues to track northward. The cold front sweeps in. This is the Futurecast Friday morning at 6 a.m. So we start to dry out, but the cool air lags behind. So Friday is actually a pretty mild day. The colder air doesn't really start getting in here until late in the day on Friday. A second cold front will form behind the system and push in to bring in the colder air Friday night and into the first part of Saturday. So 28 tonight. Moonlit sky out there. We should scour out most of these clouds. It's a lighter wind for tonight. It'll become less gusty as the sun sets. 46 tomorrow. Early sun and then evening showers. Could be a pretty sunrise tomorrow morning. And then we've got the evening showers around, lots of clouds around during the afternoon, southeasterly wind. And the 7-day forecast shows the warm day on Friday, 55 degrees, 42 on Saturday. So notice how it cools down from 38 Friday morning to 25 Saturday morning. Cools down about 15 degrees for the afternoon high from Friday to Saturday as that second cold front moves in. But the ocean storm stays away. I'll keep a couple of sprinkles or showers in there Sunday night into early Monday, but it could end up staying dry as it pushes south of us. So we stay kind of cool and raw in the 40s. That's the way I see it, Tiffany.
Thanks so much. Still to come on ABC6 News at noon, we get a tour of the new expansion at Valley's Twin River. What makeover will now offer customers. Plus, Bed Bath & Beyond in even more trouble fiscally, why the home goods store will be closing an additional 150 locations. Bed Bath & Beyond closing even more stores, 150 more. The retailer making that announcement this week that they would be shutting down the added locations just a week after they announced they were closing 87 stores. The home goods chain has not released a list of these new locations of the closures, nor have they said how many workers will be impacted. But Bed Bath & Beyond did say they so far have raised $1 billion in really a last-ditch effort so they can not file for bankruptcy. 3 stores in Bristol County are on the list. Bally's Twin River making progress in its new expansion project. The casino adding a 40,000 square foot gaming area with tables and slots. There will also be a fancy 10,000 square foot spa.
Important. Well, it's an element that we don't currently have on our property. It's an amenity. Many of our competitors offer these types of amenities and we haven't. So this is really a major milestone in the continued development of the facility, and it's really the platform that will continue to drive us forward.
The area will be open mid to late April. The Lego Discovery Center in Boston planning its grand opening. The Merlin Entertainment Company announcing it'll open a fully renovated Discovery Center April 14th in Somerville. The center features all new attractions. Tickets on sale now. If you'd like more information on the opening or how you can get tickets, it's all on our website for you. That's abc6.com. Honda recalling more than 114,000 vehicles over backup camera displays that might not work when the vehicle is in reverse. The recall involves 2018 to 2020 Fit hatchbacks and 2019 to 2022 HRV SUVs. The malfunction is the result of a faulty audio system circuit. It only involves vehicles with an ignition key, not a push-button start. Honda says it is aware of just over 200 warranty claims related to the issue. So far, no injuries. More health news. People who consume 1 or 2 alcoholic drinks a day lower their risk of getting dementia. Researchers in South Korea tracked 4 million people. They found that those who drank 2 drinks a day consistently over time were up to 21% less likely to develop dementia than those who never drank. Now, having said that, doctors say, hey, don't run to the liquor store just yet. Alcohol consumption can be a risk factor for cancer. And again, the message here from this study is everything in moderation. Still to come on ABC6 at noon. Nick has a look at our forecast this afternoon, and he tells us about some things happening out to sea and whether that'll impact us. Let's check in one final time during this 12 o'clock hour with ABC6 Storm Tracker meteorologist Nick Morganelli. How's it looking out there, Nick?
Yeah, you know, we've got a few clouds out there, but it's a nice day, breezy and mild. We'll drop to about 30 degrees tonight for the overnight low. We'll have a little bit of a sunrise tomorrow, and then the clouds thicken up during the afternoon. We should escape raindrops until the evening commute. Here's 7 o'clock. I have a little band of rain coming in, but that might just be about it. This front moves through, and by 7 o'clock Friday morning, it's 50 degrees, and we warm up to 55 with sunshine and clouds to end the work week. The weekend looks dry right now as a storm drifts out to sea to the south of us. It's going to be a close call, but I think it's going to miss.
Close call, okay. Flip-flops and T-shirts on Friday, and sunglasses. Yeah. Thanks so much for joining us. We'll be back at 4 o'clock. We sure hope to see you then.